Hello everybody and welcome to a video that I don't normally do on this channel. In fact, this channel is basically just a bunch of Transformers Prime stuff. This is a Transformers channel, but um I wanted to give a full in-depth view or review, should I say, of the Samsung Note 10 Plus. I've had it for 5 days. I got it on Sunday. It's a very, very early birthday present. I was supposed to get it on my birthday, but my Samsung J7, my poor sweet Samsung J7, it kind of died inside. To the point where I think Android and Samsung even ended support for it, because when I got a lot of my apps transferred onto this phone, they all started to update like crazy. So that led me to believe that for some apps, um, Android ended support, which kind of, I mean, I guess it's understandable. It was an old phone. It's been around since 2016, but it served me well. I made a lot of YouTube videos on that phone, but I have my Note 10, and I wanted to kind of go over a review of some tips and some tricks. And now this is not going to be talking about the S Pen because so many people talk about the S Pen. And I just wanted to mainly focus on the customization that you can do on this phone. And I also wanted to talk about the accessibility features for visually impaired users because not a lot of people bring this up. And let me just say that this is a great phone for visually impaired users. Now, something you may be noticing is that we're starting in landscape. And you may be wondering why. You may be wondering if I've linked my phone to a Windows computer, which you can do. No, the whole reason that this video rather, is starting in landscape is because this phone has the ability to make your home screen, landscape. It has the ability to make your home screen, be in landscape. So honestly, that's really important to me because I most of the time hold my phone in landscape if I'm on Skype or if I'm on YouTube, which are the two primary apps that I use. Now, this is coming off of someone who switched from a Samsung J7. I used to have a home button. I don't have a home button anymore. That's all the navigation bar down here. If you can even see the navigation bar, it'll be to the right. In fact, let me flip this to portrait. I really hope this doesn't do anything weird with the screen recording. It shouldn't, but, you just never know, so I'm just wanting to be very, very careful. So, what am I gonna go over today? Okay, let's start with how I actually got my home screen to be in landscape. And the way that I did that is I long pressed on the home screen here, and I'm gonna turn on Voice Assistant
on One UI Home.
Now, the way to turn on Voice Assistant, which is now what it's not called TalkBack, which I'm kind of happy that it's not called TalkBack because it always sounded really weird, but then again, I'm also not that happy because I feel like with them trying, my girlfriend is an Apple user, and she's been telling me about Apple a lot since we first started dating. And given a lot of the features on this phone, I feel like Samsung is trying to copy Apple. Like, I understand that they're keeping up with the competition, but there are some things that they do that just really sing out to me that they're trying to copy Apple. But let me show you how I got my home screen to be in that landscape.
Themes button. Widgets button. Home screen settings button.
So you go over to home screen settings.
Showing items 1 to 6 of 15.
Hang on, let me turn this down.
Accessibility volume 70%. Volume controls here.
Oh, that's something cool that's something cool. You can change your accessibility volume. Before, it just used to be linked to your media volume. I did not know that. That's cool. But here in home screen settings is where you can customize a lot of different features. So I'm just going to go over them really quickly.
Home screen layout, home and app screens, in list, 15 items. To activate.
I don't know what that means.
Home screen grid, 5x5. Tap to activate.
5 by 5, I like an even grid.
Showing app screen grid, 4x5. Tap
I don't really care about the app
Showing
screen
apps
grid.
button. Show a button on the home screen that opens the apps screen. Off. Switch.
Now, I don't like
Tap to activate.
having that apps button because you can't really move that. It's just there at the bottom, and I don't like it. So that's why I don't have the apps button. And I'll show you how you can access all your apps in a second for all the Apple people that don't know, because the T-Mobile person that sold me this phone, I had the same thing on my J7 where I didn't want the app button showing, and she didn't know to just flip up the screen to access the apps. Quick tip for those of you who are using the accessibility feature, voice assistant. When you're scrolling, again, it's the same as TalkBack. Or if you're switching over from iOS, this is really helpful. You scroll with 2 fingers. You scroll up and down with 2 fingers.
App icon badges. Show with number. Showing items 6 to 8 of 15. Tap
I don't
to
know what
activate.
that I don't know what that means, so I normally just leave it on.
Lock home screen layout. Prevent items on the home screen from being removed or repositioned. Off. Switch.
See, I don't
Tap
like to do
activate.
that because I do like to edit my home screen fairly often if I have like a new shortcut that I have to make from the internet, because I do definitely have shortcuts that I make all the time.
Add apps to home screen. Add apps to the home screen automatically when they're first downloaded from the Play Store. Off. Switch. Tap to activate.
See, I actually used to have that on all the time on my J7, but I'm honestly glad this is flipped off here, because oftentimes I would download an app, and if I didn't need it to go into a folder, but I needed the app for something, I typically did not want it on my home screen. So this is actually really helpful because I can just go into the folder and I can add apps to the folder, and it's very, very easy to do.
Showing swipe down for notification panel. Open the notification panel by swiping down the anywhere on the home screen. On. Switch. Tap to
Now,
activate.
this is a feature that I don't understand why this exists, because you can honestly, what you can do on this phone is kind of ridiculous. If I were to switch this off, you can either open your app screen by swiping up or down, and I think that's kind of ridiculous, because when you open your app screen, you swipe up, and when you open the notification panel, you swipe down, like this. Just swipe it down.
Shade.
Notification.
Home screen settings.
There we go. Easy peasy. But the thing is that, that's what we're used to. So don't do this again, Samsung. Oh, scrap. Before I continue, I just want to say on the exterior of the device, I really actually do love the fact that both keys are on the left side. I'm a lefty. I think I'm the only person that likes this. I also got the Aura Glow finish, and it's so incredibly pretty, but it's also really hard to clean, so I recommend you getting a case that's clear so you can still see your pretty finish, but you only ever have to clean the case. That's just a quick tip. Also, bring back the headphone jack, Samsung, please. Please. I know a particular reviewer who would agree with me. Just please bring back the headphone jack. I need it. I mean, I have wireless headphones, but I'd like to have the headphone jack back, to be honest with you.
Showing up. Rotate to landscape mode. Rotate the home screen automatically when your phone's orientation changes. On. Switch.
See, this is where you can rotate the home screen to landscape, and I absolutely love this so much.
Hide apps. Tap to activate.
Hide apps. I don't know what that is. I'm not gonna mess with that. But yeah, that's basically your home screen settings, and we're gonna get out of this. Oops, I think I just covered up my mic. Luckily there are 2 mics on this, so if I cover up one, the other one should pick me up. What I also really love is that on the Samsung J7, my speaker was on the back, and I only had one. So if I wanted to watch anything, I had to prop my phone up on my pop socket that I had with it, and it was just really, really annoying. But with this, there are 2 speakers on the top and bottom. They're on the sides. So it's very, very easy to set your phone down flat and still be able to listen to a video. I absolutely love the zero edge display. And because I have a wallpaper with a black border, my camera hole cutout is like barely visible. And even when I'm on an internet page, like if I'm on a super bright, what's a super bright page I can go to? I'll show you YouTube because the contrast is okay enough.
Fun apps folder.
Now, before I go into YouTube and show you the camera hole cutout, I do just want to say that here,
add apps to folder button.
On the add apps to folder button, you can add different apps to this folder, and then you switch the apps by long pressing them. So now we're gonna go over here.
YouTube. Pop-up window showing items 1 to 2 of 2.
And the camera hole cutout isn't that bad. You can't see it in the screen recording. I just realized that. But honestly, and I absolutely love that it's in the top center now, because it always used to bother me that on the J7 that I had, it was on the top right-hand corner.
YouTube. Showing items 1 to 5. All was well on Music Box and Melodica -2 minutes, 52. Showing items 1 to 4 of 10. Home screen, page 2 of 2 default page.
Okay, so, I actually have 2 pages on my home screen, this one, and then this one literally has
Home
nothing
screen,
on it.
page
If I
1 of
ever
2.
wanted to record, like, a fan fiction or something, and I just wanted to use my home screen, this is what I would use it for. But primarily,
screen,
I'm
page
always
2 of
on
2
this
default
page
page.
that has a bunch of folders on it that just have everything that I need. And I love the idea that I have the folders, and if I need more of my apps,
App
Well,
screen, page 3
flip
of 4.
up. There they
Home
go.
screen,
Oh,
page
and
2 of 2
actually, I
default
can show
page.
you how to add an app, because I actually need to add, let's say I want to add something to my necessities folder,
Necessities folder.
which is right here.
Folder.
I'm going
Add
to
apps
hit
to folder
add
button.
apps, and we're going to go scroll down, and I
Showing
want to
items
add
4
my
to 6 of-
calculator.
Calculator not selected. Calculator selected.
Now, the thing about this is that you can check multiple apps to add to a folder, and then when you're done, you just hit the add button.
Add button. Folder open.
And then boom, it's
Page
going to
1 of
pop
1.
up right there. But I don't want it right there, because this is like all my internet links, and the calculator has nothing to do with internet links. So I want this at the top of the folder. So to do that, now I am going to be using Voice Assistant primarily for this video, because this is a tutorial for visually impaired users. I'm going to long press with 2 fingers. Long press with 2 fingers.
Calculator.
Not 2 fingers.
4 quick options.
Double
2,
tap
column
and then
1,
long
column
press.
1.
Not long press with 2 fingers. Double tap and then long press. And then I just move it up and it goes exactly where I need it to be. Now, I didn't really go slow enough, but watch this. It'll pop up more options. Come on. Okay, it's not going to do it for me for some reason, and I think one of the problems I am seeing with this phone is because of the way I hold my phone, my fingers will accidentally touch the screen, and if a finger is touching the screen, then when you tap something, it won't activate. This is why I highly recommend getting a case. I did not get a case for this phone, because T-Mobile made me pay a fragging ridiculous down payment on this thing, and I love this phone so much, but the payment was freaking ridiculous, and so we really didn't want to buy accessories. That's going to probably be what I get for my birthday, is the accessories for my phone, which is fine, because honestly I need them, and I'm getting to the point where birthdays are just when I get stuff I need, if we don't have the money for it in September. So yeah, this is my phone. So now we're going to go back here.
Folder closed.
And I'm going to do exactly what I said I was going to do like 20 freaking minutes ago, and show you the accessibility settings.
Notification shade. Open settings button. Settings showing items 1 to 6 of 26.
So we're going to open settings, and there's all sorts of things we can do, but I am going to primarily focus
Showing
on
item.
not accounts and backup, sorry.
Showing items 12. Accessibility, voice assistant, mono audio, assistant menu, in list, 26 item.
Accessibility.
Showing item
Now,
1 of 1.
They need to put accessibility nearer to the top. Honestly, that is one thing that they need to knock off from Apple, is putting accessibility nearer to the top, because that would be so much easier. One thing I did forget. You may be noticing that my settings are actually a dark theme, a dark screen. This is because the Samsung Note 10 Plus comes with a night mode. I don't know of any other Samsungs after the J7 and before this one came with it, and if so, that means that they did not support a software update on the J7, which is probably why it was dying from the inside out. So this is definitely something I needed, because my light sensitivity would not have allowed me to have a daylight mode on such a big phone like this. So this night mode has really, really been helpful. Anyway, we're going to go through some of the accessibility features. As you can see, I have 3 functions active. We're going to see what they are.
Collapsed. 3 function expanded. Showing item. Screen reader. Voice assistant is on. In list. 4 Visibility enhancements. Triple tap screen to magnify is on. Tap. Visibility enhancements. Large mouse / touchpad pointer is on. Tap to activate. Turn off button.
No,
Tap
I don't
to
want to do that.
Expanded. 3 function collapsed.
Okay.
Showing item 1 of 1.
So, here's the thing about Voice Assistant that is really cool. You don't need to go into your accessibilities to turn it on. the way that you turn on your voice assistant as a shortcut is you press the side and volume up keys. I would highly recommend a left-hander get this phone. They need to make a right-handed Samsung Note 10 Plus, honestly, for people that are right-handed. But for me, I just press on it with my left thumb on the power key and my right thumb, or not my right thumb, my left index finger on the volume up key, and I'm usually pretty good to go.
Screen reader. Get spoken audio guidance and special controls that help you navigate without needing to see the screen. Enlist 8 item. Screen reader. Showing items 1 to 5 of 5.
Okay, perfect. So here we are in screen reader settings. And actually, no, the screen reader itself. So let's just see.
Quick typing. Use the Samsung keyboard and the keypad by tapping keys once on switch. Enlist 5 items.
Now I am so happy this is a thing. Because if it wasn't a thing, then you'd need to like press on a key and then double tap to type it. And I don't like that. I like being able to type on my Samsung keyboard, but most of the time when I type on my Samsung keyboard, I keep voice assistant off unless I'm trying to type a password. And now we're going to look, there's a tutorial here.
Tap to activate.
And it'll give you a step-by-step tutorial of how to use voice assistant. Highly recommend that if you're switching over from iOS because, from what my girlfriend has told me about Apple, and from the very, very little experience I've had with it, the controls are definitely different, and the gestures are definitely different. So I highly recommend if you're switching over from iOS, definitely seek out this tutorial. It will help you a lot. We're going to go to settings here.
Show settings. Tap. Settings. Showing items 1 to 4 of 21. Text to speech. Enlist 21 items.
Now here I'm
Accessibility
raising
volume 85%.
I'm raising
Volume
this
controls hidden.
I'm raising this volume up so that I can so that you can hear voice assistant better, because I just realized that you probably couldn't hear it that well. Text to speech is where you can customize what voice you're using, what language you're using, what dialect you're using, all that fun stuff.
Verbosity. Tap to activate.
I've never looked at
Showing
verbosity.
items 1 to 3 of it. Read keyboard input aloud. Enlist 11 items.
Read
Tap to
keyboard input
activate.
aloud. Absolutely we want that, because if not, it would be very annoying for any visually impaired users.
Set voice
Jeez.
feedback to use a different pitch when you're entering text with the keyboard on switch. Tap to activate.
Okay, so this basically what this does is very similar to when you type a capital letter on a braille note. It will change the pitch as you're typing certain letters to let you know that you're typing.
Show phonetic alphabet. When reading letters aloud, use the corresponding word from the phonetic alphabet instead of the letter name on switch. Tap to activate.
I don't want that. We're gonna turn that off.
Off.
I didn't realize that was turned on. So yeah, the thing about this is that there are certain settings you're obviously gonna have to enable, and there's a lot of customization options here.
Usage hints.
Oh.
Punctuation off. Switch. Tap to activate. On. Usage hints. Read usage hints aloud after a brief delay when you swipe to off.
Okay, so basically what the punctuation button reads all the punctuation. I don't want that, so I'm going to turn that off. I am going, and I also turned off usage hints because I don't really want that.
Usage hints. Count list items. When there's a list of items on the screen, read aloud the number of items on switch, showing items 5 to 7 of 11.
I actually really like this feature because it will let you know how many things are in this list. And it's very easy to scroll up and down, and it will tell you where you are as you're scrolling. Ugh, I have to get something to lean on. Okay.
Screen off notifications. Read notifications aloud while the screen is off. Switch.
Actually, I'm going to leave that off, but if I was like living alone and I was away from my phone and I knew I was getting a notification, I would turn this on, but I'm actually going to leave it off.
Speak element type. Read the element type for focused items on switch, showing items 7 to 10 of 11.
I think that means if it's like a link or something, I'm actually not sure if exactly specifically what that means, so we're going to leave that off.
Show. Read elemented aloud. For unlabeled buttons and other interactive items, read the element ID aloud. Off. Switch. On.
I think that might be helpful if a button is unlabeled. That way I can just It'll read the element ID. I don't know what an element ID is. We're actually going to test that on fanfiction.net because
Home
that
screen,
has some
page 2 of
unlabeled
2 to
buttons
4
in it.
page.
Let's
Reading
see.
stuff folder. Fanfiction.net. Profile.
That's not an unlabeled button.
Home screen.
Oops.
One UI home. Fanfiction.net. 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 Stop button. Selfie video button. Draw button. Collapse button. 2020. Stop button. Expand button.
Okay, so for some
Landscape
reason...
view.
Oh, here we go.
More options button. Pop-up window showing items 1 to 6 of 6.
We're going to go home because
Home,
that
in
has
list,
some
6
unlabeled buttons on it.
Fanfiction.net. Portrait view showing items 1 to 2 of 8. Underbar in list 6 items. Underscore. 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 Underscore.
Okay, so that literally doesn't do anything, so I'm going to turn that back
Settings
off.
in list. What settings? Verbosity. Read element is allowed for unlabeled button off.
Okay.
Settings.
So now we're back to screen reader settings, and we're gonna...
Shake for continuous reading. Media in list 21 items.
Okay, now again, iOS users, if you're switching over, you don't swipe down to start reading. You actually shake your phone to stop reading or to start reading, and you can select how much you shake the phone, how vigorously you need to shake it. I have it set to medium because if I had it set to light, it would shake all the time or it would read all the time because I'm always shaking because of my autism.
Speak passwords. Read each character aloud as you enter your password. Before entering a password, connect headphones or go to a private location so your password won't be overheard. On switch.
Now this I actually do keep on, primarily because I'm only ever entering my password anywhere if I'm in a location where I feel safe, and if I'm not, then I usually turn off voice assistant and I trust my fingers on the keyboard because I can actually see the keyboard pretty well. But if I need voice assistant for me to enter a password, then yes, I have this on.
Showing read caller ID aloud on switch.
Now, if I had my voice assistant on all the time, which I don't usually because I have enough vision to see, this would be really helpful if when someone is calling me, I know exactly who they are. So I'm really happy that this is a thing.
Vibration feedback off switch.
I don't keep vibration feedback on because it's really annoying if I'm trying to scroll through something and touch something and my phone keeps vibrating. It's just not something I'm interested in. I used to have
Showing
that
items 5 to 9 of 21.
Thank you. I used to have that on my Note 3. And I didn't like it, and I never knew how to turn that off, but now I do because I've explored the settings a lot more. So, I'm honestly really glad I'm going back to Note. This is a very sentimental thing for me because I started off using a Samsung Note 3 rather. Yeah? No? Don't worry guys, this will be really quick. I'm probably just going to go over the screen reader and then I'll go over an accessibility settings part 2.
Sound feedback, 50% of accessibility volume.
Okay, we do not want sound feedback because that would just get incredibly annoying, so I keep that off.
Focus on speech audio on switch.
Now, what this focus on speech audio does, it will focus on the speech audio. Say if I was playing music in the background right now, it would focus primarily on the speech audio. So I generally like to keep that on.
Showing single tap activation.
Oh, wait.
Focus indicator, red.
Focus indicator. Now, this is, you see how it's highlighted in red around what I'm doing? I can change the color of that. And my girlfriend is very jealous because her favorite color is red. And on iOS 12, you can't change the color of your focus indicator. Hopefully, when they come out with iOS 13, they'll be able to do that because this is actually a really cool feature.
Single tap activation. Tap on the currently focused item to activate it.
Okay, now
Beta
this
on switch.
Now
Showing
this I
items
have
10 to 13
on.
of 21.
I have this on because I really, really, really like the idea that I only ever have to single tap something to activate it, not double tap. If I was totally blind, I would have all the double tap features on, but since I have some vision and I can kind of see what I'm doing, generally I do not have that off.
Single tap navigation bar. Use the home, back, and recents buttons with a single tap on switch. Showing items 12 to 14 of 21.
Now this I love having on because what it will do is as you saw earlier, when I press the back button once, it just takes me back. It won't read me that this is the back button, press it to go back, because I already knew that. Okay, yeah.
Quick menu. Select functions and settings to show when you swipe left or right with 3 fingers.
Now, I really don't need this feature because it's kind of like your edge panels. It's not something I need, because if I need my settings, I'll just go through the settings. There's not settings that I access enough and turn on and off enough that I really need, and anything I need to do is primarily in this notification
showing
panel.
Items 10 to 13 of 21.
So there we go.
Settings.
Hang on. Where was I?
Showing items that quick menu. Manage custom labels.
Manage custom labels. So I think with this you can either give voice labels to something, or is that actually, that is a different thing. Let me see what this is.
Manage custom labels will be shown here. While voice assistant is on, create a custom label by tapping an icon, button, or tab, then double tapping and holding with 3 fingers anywhere on the screen.
Okay, so that is something I do not need. If I was severely visually impaired, I am severely visually impaired, but if I was blind, I would need that. We're gonna go back.
Settings. Keyboard shortcuts in list 21. Dock screen with keyboard shortcuts.
Now, keyboard shortcuts, I think this is like, you can use your keyboard to do certain things. I'm not gonna play with that.
Dock screen with side key. Turn dock screen on and off by double pressing the side key. Off. Switch. Showing items 17 to 19 of 21.
Now, I don't like that because I can also quick launch my camera if I double tap my side key, and I kind of like having that feature more. So besides, I never use dark screen, which iOS users, that's like your screen curtain. So you can hear what you're reading, but people can't see it. I personally don't like that on, so I keep it off.
Status bar information. Select indicators from the status bar to be read. Allowed when you triple tap with 2 fingers. Showing items 18 to 20 of 21.
Okay, so that is, it'll tell you what's in your status bar, what notifications you have, all that stuff.
Developer options.
And then there's your developer options, which just...
Developer options. Log output level error in. Show TTS output. Off. Switch. No tree debugging. Print no trees to log cat by swiping left and down on any screen. Off. Switch.
Okay, that, I have no idea what that does. So basically, that's your...
One UI home.
That's going to be part 1 of our little tutorial of Voice Assistant. There will be another accessibility tutorial at some point, but this video has been long enough. And I'm sorry it was so long, but I really thank you guys for taking the time to join up with me. Again, I am so happy I was able to record this video because I have like 256 megabytes of storage on this phone, which I only ever had 16, not megabytes, gigabytes, jeez. I only had 16 gigabytes on my J7, so to go from 16 to 256 is a real blessing for me. Plus, I have expandable memory. I don't even know how big my expandable memory is. I'll probably experiment with that as this video is being uploaded. But guys, thank you ever so much for watching, and if you want to support me, just like and subscribe. I won't be making videos like this that often, but I definitely really do love this phone. I appreciate Samsung for making such a big phone, and as I would like to always say, be gentle, be honest, be honorable, and thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful day.
Stop button.